Night returned faster than Jonas expected. One moment, the sky was soft orange. The next, darkness spread like ink across the fields. The torches he placed earlier burned in a long protective line, their flames dancing in the wind. Lyra stood near the door, holding Maya tight. Her eyes followed Jonas with worry every time he checked the fences. "Be careful," she whispered. Jonas nodded calmly. "Tonight I'm ready." But he wasn't sure if anyone could ever be ready for the creature he saw last night. The wind, light at first, slowed again. The farm fell into unnatural stillness. Even the insects stopped chirping. Jonas felt the air grow heavy, almost thick, as if the darkness itself was watching him. Then the torches flickered, one by one. Not from wind, not from rain, from something moving past them. Something huge. Jonas tightened his grip on a sharpened tool. His heartbeat slowed, not from fear, but from focus. A deep growl rolled across the field, louder than yesterday. Lyra froze in the doorway. Maya grabbed the frame with both hands. "It's coming again," she whispered. The ground vibrated under Jonas's feet. A long crack formed in the soil, stretching toward him slowly, like something crawling underneath. Then it burst upward. The watcher, huge, tall, and monstrous, rose from the ground like a living shadow. Its body looked like a twisted mix of roots, bones, and dark smoke. Yellow eyes glowed in the center of its distorted face. Jonas stepped back, but not far. "I see you," he whispered again, same as the first night. The creature growled angrily. As if recognizing him, it moved closer, each step shaking dust from the house walls. This time, it did not stop at the window. This time it came straight for Jonas. "Jonas, come inside!" Lyra cried. Jonas didn't move. If he went inside, the creature would attack the house. If he stood here, he could keep it away. The watcher lowered its head and sniffed the air. Jonas felt its cold breath on his skin, sharp, wet, and filled with hunger. Then the creature spoke. The voice was deep, broken, like cracked stone grinding together. "Give me the child." Jonas's fingers tightened around his weapon. "No," he said simply. The creature tilted its head, surprised. It had heard fear from every worker before, but this human did not tremble. Lyra stepped forward slightly. "Jonas, please," he lifted a hand. "Stay inside." The watcher roared suddenly, shaking the whole farm. Maya screamed. The torches behind Jonas flickered wildly. Then the beast swiped its massive arm toward him. Jonas dodged and rolled to the side. The ground where he stood cracked open. Dirt burst into the air. The human grabbed a burning torch and slammed it against the creature's arm. The roots on its body curled backward as the flame touched it. The creature shrieked in anger. "You don't like fire, do you?" Jonas muttered. The watcher charged again, faster this time. Jonas stumbled but managed to push a wooden spike trap into its path. The creature stepped on it, hard, and roared as sharp wood pierced its leg. The sound was so loud, Maya covered her ears. "You dare hurt me?" The creature growled. Jonas wiped sweat from his face. "You tried to steal a child." "What did you expect?" The watcher swung its tail. Jonas jumped aside, but the blow still threw him across the soil. His back hit the ground hard. The air shot from his lungs. Lyra screamed his name. Jonas forced himself up, coughing. His ribs hurt, his vision blurred, but he stood again. The trap he built earlier still burned nearby. He picked up a long piece of burning wood and held it like a sword. The watcher stared at him, confused, frustrated, maybe even afraid. Humans weren't supposed to stand back up. Humans weren't supposed to fight like this. Jonas stepped closer. "I'm not running," he said. The creature roared and charged one final time. Jonas swung the burning wood in a wide arc. Flames hit the watcher's chest, roots curled, smoke erupted. The monster shrieked and stumbled backward. Then, slowly it retreated. It melted into the ground like shadow, sinking into water. The earth closed behind it. Silence. Jonas fell to his knees, breathing hard. Lyra rushed to him and dropped beside him. "You're hurt. Why didn't you come inside?" "Because then it would have reached you both," Jonas whispered. Maya hugged his arm tightly. Tears fell on his sleeve. "You protected us," she cried. "You didn't leave." Jonas smiled. Weakly, "I told you, I'm staying." Behind them, the torches burned bright again. The Watcher was gone for now. But Jonas knew one thing clearly: it would return, and next time, it would come with even more hunger. Jonas lay on the floor of the small house, breathing slowly as Lyra cleaned the scratches on his arm. Each touch was gentle, but his wounds still burned from the fight. Maya sat beside him, holding his shirt tightly with her tiny hands, refusing to let go, as if scared he would disappear if she blinked. "You should rest," Lyra said softly. Jonas shook his head. "Not yet. Tell me everything, all of it." Lyra's hands paused. Maya looked up at her mother, eyes wide. The truth could no longer stay locked away. Lyra stood and walked to the far corner of the room, where a small wooden box was kept hidden under a cloth. She lifted it quietly and brought it to Jonas, then sat down across from him. Her voice trembled slightly. "You want to know why it wants Maya, why it comes again and again, why this farm is cursed?" Jonas nodded. "Yes, I need to understand what I'm protecting." Lyra opened the box slowly. Inside lay a glowing crystal, small, round, and pulsing with a soft golden light. Jonas leaned forward, surprised. "What is that?" Lyra swallowed hard. "The last gift of Maya's father, and the reason he died." The room felt heavier with every word. Lyra took a deep breath. "My husband was not ordinary. He was a guardian of the old forest, a protector of the spirit creatures that lived under this land. He had a bond with them, a bond of light. When Maya was born, she inherited that light, a rare power that shows in very few children." Jonas looked at Maya. She stared at the glowing crystal with innocent eyes, unaware of the danger hiding behind her birthright. "The Watcher wants her light?" Jonas asked. Lyra nodded. "Yes, it feeds on life energy, on spirit energy. Maya is like a shining star to it. It can sense her, even from far away." Jonas clenched his jaw. "That monster tried to take her when she was a baby, didn't it?" Lyra lowered her head. "Yes, it came to our window one night. Same way it did with you. My husband fought it with fire, and he pushed it back. But the creature struck him with its roots. The poison was strong. He died the next morning." Maya looked down, sadness filling her small face. She touched her mother's hand gently. "I didn't know him," she whispered, "but Mama says he was brave." Jonas placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. "He was very brave." Lyra looked at Jonas again. Her eyes were tired but honest. "I didn't tell the workers the truth. I was afraid they would think I was mad. Or worse, they would try to take Maya away, and I couldn't lose her." Jonas understood. Fear makes people hide things. But now the truth sat between them, shining like the crystal. "So the colony stayed away?" Jonas asked. "Yes," Lyra replied sadly. "They think the land is cursed. They think I brought evil by giving birth to a child touched by light." She shook her head. "They don't understand. Maya is good, kind, pure, but they fear what they don't know." Jonas looked at the little girl in front of him, small, gentle, always scared, but brave enough to hope. She didn't look cursed. She looked like a child who needed protection, love, and safety. "Lyra," Jonas said softly, "why did you tell me all of this now?" Lyra's eyes softened with emotion. "Because you stayed. You fought for her. You faced the Watcher and didn't run. You have already risked your life for us. and you don't even know us well. My heart says humans do not abandon children. And tonight, I saw that truth myself. Jonas sighed and leaned back against the wall. His ribs hurt, but his determination grew stronger. So the Watcher will return again? Yes, Lyra whispered. And next time, it will be even more dangerous. It will come with its full strength. Jonas stood slowly, ignoring the pain. Then I need to be stronger too. Lyra stepped toward him suddenly. Jonas, you can still leave. You don't have to die for us. You don't even belong to this world. Jonas looked straight into her eyes. You said you needed a father, not a worker. He glanced at Maya, whose tiny hand reached for his. And she needs someone who won't abandon her. Maya smiled weakly and hugged his arm. Lyra's breath shook. You would risk your life for a child not even yours? Jonas answered quietly but firmly, no child deserves to be hunted. And no mother deserves to fight alone. Silence filled the room, but it wasn't fearful silence anymore. It was understanding, connection, a new bond forming like warm light in cold. Darkness. Jonas lifted the glowing crystal gently. Teach me what this is. Teach me how to protect. Her using her father's gift. Lyra's eyes widened. You would learn the old ways? Jonas nodded. If that's what it takes to stop that monster, I will. Lyra placed her hand over his. Her voice was soft, but filled with hope she hadn't felt in years. Then Jonas read. You are no longer just a worker. She looked at him with quiet emotion. You are part of our family now. The next night came with no warning, no wind, no sound, no moon, only darkness heavy and thick like a blanket thrown over the entire farm. Jonas stood outside, the house with a torch in one hand and the glowing crystal in the other. The crystal pulsed gently, almost like a heartbeat. Lyra had taught him how to activate its protective energy, but he didn't know if it would be enough. Maya peeked through the window with wide, worried eyes. She pressed her small hands against the glass. Jonas, please come back inside. The ground feels angry tonight. He gave her a reassuring smile. I'll be fine. Stay with your mom. Lyra stood behind Maya, her face pale and tense. Jonas could see fear in her eyes, but also something else, trust. She believed he would protect them, even against something no one else dared to face. Then, the earth shook. Not lightly, not softly, but violently, like something enormous was tunneling up from the deep ground. Jonas braced himself. The soil cracked open, exploding upward in a rain of roots and dirt. The Watcher rose from the darkness, bigger than before, taller than the house. Its body twisted and pulsed with sickly energy. Yellow eyes burned like twin suns filled with rage. It had come with full strength. It had come to finish what it failed. The last time. Its voice rumbled like thunder. Give. The child. Jonas stepped forward, torch blazing in his hand. You're not touching her. The creature roared and slammed its massive arm into the ground. The shockwave knocked Jonas backward, but he rolled and stood again. You still stand, the creature growled. Jonas wiped dirt from his face. Humans don't fall easily. The Watcher charged, roots whipping forward like giant tentacles. Jonas dodged left, then right, then slid under one swinging root. He threw the burning torch at the creature's chest. Flames danced across its dark body. The Watcher screamed, shaking the entire field. Lyra shouted from the doorway, Jonas, the crystal, use the light. He lifted the glowing stone high. The crystal flashed. It released a beam of golden energy that cut through the darkness like sunlight, breaking storm clouds. The Watcher staggered backward, roaring in pain. Its roots curled in fear of the light. But then suddenly the creature burst forward in a violent leap. Jonas barely dodged, but a huge root caught his side, throwing him onto the hard ground. Pain shot through his ribs. Jonas! Lyra screamed. He forced himself to breathe, to stand, to move. But the creature was faster now, stronger. Desperate, it reached the house, its giant claws digging into the walls. The door splintered under its weight. Maya cried loudly. "No, Mama, it's coming in." Jonas felt panic rise, but he pushed it down. This wasn't just a fight. This was a promise. He charged with everything he had left, grabbing the burning torch from the ground and slamming it onto the Watcher's back. Fire spread across its twisted form. The creature shrieked and turned sharply. Its massive claws lifted and struck Jonas across the chest. He fell hard. Blood touched his lips. Lyra rushed out, grabbing Maya and pulling her behind her. Lyra held a broken spear, her husband's old weapon. But her hands shook. "Stay back," Jonas shouted, even from the ground. "Don't come closer." The Watcher roared and lunged toward Lyra. Jonas's pulse spiked. He couldn't lose them. Not after everything. Not after becoming part of their family. He gripped the glowing crystal tightly. He remembered Lyra's words, "The light listens to the heart." Jonas forced himself up, even as pain tore through him. He held the crystal high and shouted from the deepest part of his soul, "Leave them alone." The crystal exploded in brilliance. A blinding wave of golden light shot outward, spreading across the entire field like a sunrise born in his hands. The Watcher froze, its body shaking violently as the light pierced through every root, every dark vein, every twisted part of it. It screamed, a loud, sharp cry that echoed across the whole moon. The light intensified. The roots burned. The darkness melted. Then, with a final thunderous crack, the Watcher collapsed into the ground, turning into dust and disappearing into the soil. Silence fell. Soft, peaceful, real. Lyra and Maya ran toward Jonas. Maya threw her arms around him, crying, "You saved us! You saved us!" Jonas gently hugged her back despite the pain. "I told you, I'd stay." Lyra knelt beside him, tears falling. "Jonas Reed, you did what no one else could. You protected us. You protected her." Jonas smiled weakly. "Family protects family." Lyra looked at him with deep emotion. You are our family now." Maya buried her face into his chest. "Papa, don't ever leave." Jonas's eyes softened. He wrapped one arm around her. "I'm not going anywhere." And in that moment, the night that once brought fear now brought warmth. A human stood. On an alien farm, a widow found hope again. A child found a father, and the world, once silent in fear, now whispered one truth. Humanity stood strong. Humanity protected. Humanity rose, HFY.